Why, hello. Welcome back to Romanvs. Hope everyone's having a good one. Top of the morning to you, M. Just need to update my banners here. Yeah, we're gonna look into some of the We're going to look into the rules and work on refining the card game play today. So a little bit different of a process today. We're not digging into the sandbox today. We're going to be digging into our own stuff. And so we're going to set up this proposed card game on a board and try to play it out and refine the rules a little bit. At least that's the goal for today. And we'll also be playing some Stream Raiders. So let's get that going. Good morning, Pvnks and Tree Frog, or afternoon, wherever you are. Sparky, hello. So let's get our Stream Raiders going on here. Okay, where are we headed? Looks like we're here. I think we died last time because no one was playing. So let's drop our guy up here. Place him there. Perfect. Go ahead, place your units. We're also going to play some Coliseum Clash today. We've got 4 battles to get through today. So let's get that timer going. Hello, Shiloh and Sparky. We are doing very well, very well. Feeling a little bit of morning cobwebs here. A little bit of a rainy day today. Perfect day for streaming. We're going to be doing some internal development today. We have a plan for a card game that we've been working on. And we're going to try and map that out in a way that can be play tested. We have the rules for the game. The game is called Pvnks Romanvs. It's the working title. The object of the game will be the first to appoint 3 leaders. So there'll be 3 columns or rows. Haven't decided yet. So we're going to lay out the board like it will look like this. And there are approximately 1,000 characters. So it'll be a game where each player draws a card and then places the card on the board, right? And so the goal is to have a leader card, 3 leader cards. But in order to place these leader cards, you have to have a full contingent of supporters to get the leader in place first. So we have drafted, in our minds, but we need to play it out a little bit to see how we can refine it, before actually making it into something we can play. So what we're going to do is we've got a blank template here. So what we can do is we can build out the game board, and then try it out. So the board is a grid. We've got 8 rows, 3 columns. So let's go with that. 8 rows, 3 columns for each player. So let's see if we can draw any type of spaces here. So if we do it like this, then we could just place the cards that come up. Although I'm not sure if I'm not sure if this Milanote is the best system for it, but it's all we've got. So let's see. We can't do any shapes in here, unfortunately, by the looks of it. Raining here too. Parky says your storm started 4 hours. Yeah, Pvnks got some thunderstorms coming. Yeah, maybe we're all in the same region, perhaps. Tree Frog Nata says, could you make a grayscale or black and white PDF with all the cards that will be in the game so people can print out and playtest at home? Unless, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's gone a bad idea. We need to get to the point where the game is playable first, because right now it's just in total testing mode. So we have to first make it playable. So we need to draw some columns here. So we need to have 8 columns and 3 rows, or 8 rows and 3 columns per player. So let's try and draw that out. 8 rows, 3 columns. We've got lines. Okay, that's just a sketch. Let's see if we can do it this way. Okay, so let's see, we can zoom out some more. Okay, let's see what we got there. It seems like it might take forever. Wait, what's this? Oh, it's just labels. Yeah. We don't want these lines. What if we do it this way? And then the cards can just go in the column. Like, for example, so this can be the leader 1. And then we can put the card in there. So for example, let's say we've got an emperor, we can just throw him in there like that, right? At least that's the idea. So we can play test this. And then let's see. Unfortunately, we can't zoom that out anymore. So we're not able to view the whole board. Anyway, let's try this. So we've got leader 1, leader 2, and leader 3. Okay, so now under each, there needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 supporters. Tree Frog Nana says, my thought is that if people try it with the rules, they'll be able to say this works, that doesn't. Yeah, totally. That's exactly what will happen. Okay, so now we've got to have the I'm just wondering if it's not better to have the rows and the columns switch so that instead of having 8 rows and 3 columns, have 8 columns and 3 rows. Just because of how it's going to be viewed that way. It just doesn't seem to make sense. Because it'll just be a long line. But if we make it across, it's probably easier. So if we do it this way, leader 1, leader 2, leader 3. And then have supporter 1, supporter 2, etc. So the rows, so this should be patrician, and then we should have equestrian, okay, so that's the elite tier. So this is leader tier, so let's make that a specific color. And then this is elite tier, let's make that a specific color. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So actually we'll leave these ones for now. And then we'll make all the rows here, and then we'll copy everything, so then it will have all the right colors and the names we need. Okay, next we're going to have plebes and peregrinus. Okay. So we've got 2 more. Let's give those a different color. Orange. And then we've got freedman and slave. Unfortunately, we can't zoom this out anymore, or can we? Yeah, okay, perfect, we can. You just have to have more things in there to be able to do it. That's great. Freedman and slave. Okay, and then we need to have the barracks tier, which is soldier, gladiator, and centurion. Or centurion. You can only have one. Okay, let's go back to there. And let's add another column here. soldier, gladiator, centurion. Okay, so there needs to be a fighter here. Let's change this color to red. Perfect. Let's change this one purple. Purple, great. Okay, there we go. Now we can see everything. So let's move all of these up here. Or not. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows here. Hello, Tyab. Good morning. Let's get. Now we need to have 3 of the same. So let's go ahead and copy. And paste. Now we have 3 rows just like that. Perfect. So then this would be one player's game board. And then we would have to have the whole thing duplicated. Oops. The whole thing be duplicated for the second player, for each player. Okay, how do we do that without breaking the system? Okay, let's go copy all of that and then paste and then move that down here. Come on. No, I don't want to move just you. No, I won't want to move just you. I want to move the whole damn thing. There. Okay. Now we've got exactly 2 player boards. So we can draw some lines in here. And then what we can do is split it out. Okay, so we've got here a line here. Actually, no, I don't want a line. I want to just draw. Okay, so let's just draw. So, no, draw. I just want to draw. I just want to draw. Oh, so this is the edge. Can't draw there. Okay. Just drawing with my mouse, so bear with me here. Okay, so there is a line. I really don't like that line. Let's use a real line. I'm on real line. Drag to here. Okay. So this line is meant to just show the separation between each side. Player 1, player 2, essentially, right? So maybe what we can do is move the whole thing over a little bit. No, I don't want to do that. The whole thing. Stop it. The whole thing. There we go. And then we can put another line here. Okay. Player 1, and then we can do another line here. Make this player 2. Okay, so we're just getting the board set up here. Once we have the board set up, we'll be able to start adding cards and start playtesting with the rules, and then we'll be able to start adjusting the rules as we notice things just don't work. So how this started is that I just drafted a card game just from brainstorming based on the cards that we have already developed, and we have an idea for a game, but it needs to be tested out to refine the rules. We've already refined something. We've already changed this from rows to columns. So 8 columns and 3 rows. Okay, so now column, these should be columns, right? So it's important to keep the rules updated as we change things, or else everything will go pear-shaped. Okay, so I think we also want to have something to identify these tiers, because there is this leader tier, elite tier, common tier, sub tier, and barracks tier. So we need to identify that somehow as well. So let's go back here. We've got here, this is the elite tier. So let's put another line in there. So that distinguishes the elite tier. I want to copy and do another one here. Now we've got, that's the common tier, the sub tier, and the barracks tier. Let's remove this one. This is the other side. We're just going to do one side. Once we get one side the way we want it, then we copy it into the other to save time. Alright, so let's go ahead and make some, what can we do here? We want to draw, no, we want to note. So this is the elite tier. So let's gushy this up a little bit. Text style, heading. There we go. Okay, so elite tier. Okay, now we want to copy this. No, I'm going to do that. It's kind of a finicky app, I must say. Copy, paste. This is the common tier. Oops, no, I want to do that. Why does it do that? Okay. Common tier. And let's give it another color. Go. Okay, now we want, no, that should be orange. Why can't I change it to any other colors? Oh, that's dumb. Alright, in that case, let's just make no colors. Let's just do it like this. No color. So elite tier, common tier, sub tier. Barracks tier. All right. Okay, that should be good enough for now. So we've got our tiers. Oh, we've got to do our Coliseum Clash! I wish there was a sound on that. You know, I've really been trying to get a sound going on the timer. See, I have a sound. I've tried to enable it. See, look. Oh my god. See, that's very obnoxious. But it doesn't play when the timer runs out for some reason. So, you know, here I have this timer, and I put the sound here. I uploaded it where it says completion sound, and I clicked enable, and then it doesn't actually turn on. So be it. I might need to figure out a new timer system. So let's get to the Clash. Coliseum Clash. We've got battle here, Pvnks and Avis Eichel. We've got a form for you to fill out if you want to join the Clash. All you need to do is fill out your Twitch username and select which fighter you would like to root for. So I'll drop that into the chat for you. Go ahead and fill out the form. I'll close it in 1 minute. We've got Pvnks here with a 888 and Avis Eichel with a 669. So how it works is we first start out with a speed roll. Whoever has the whoever wins the speed roll based on the speed rating will attack first. And if your attack is successful, then you win. And if your attack is unsuccessful, then the other player gets to attack. So we've got an attack, a defense, and a speed rating. That corresponds to the number of dice you get. So this mechanic for Coliseum Clash actually is used in the card game we're developing as well. So this whole speed, attack, and defense system, it might need a little bit of tweaking, but so far so good. So if you want to join the battle, then fill out the form in the chat and you'll be entered. Ten seconds. Alright, and we're closing the form. Now let's get to the battle. We've got Vin and Avis. Vin is fighting with a speed of 8, so let's roll 8 dice. And we've got 27. Avis has a speed of 9, so let's roll with 9 dice. We've got to beat 27. And 31, so Avis will be attacking first with the measly 6. Let's see what you got. 21, that's pretty weak. Vin is defending with an 8. So you gotta beat 21. 20! And it looks like Avis is gonna take it. Woo! Wow, what a coup. Winner is Avis Eichel. Moves on to the next round. Great. We also have a Stream Raider battle. Let's go and check that out. Looks like we have enough units to take this one. More than enough. Let's go ahead and start the battle early. Or can we? Where are we? There we go. Start early. LFG. Yeah, you stand no chance. Why am I so fast? And then I just died. Well, that was a piece of cake. Alright, some rewards to y'all. Alright, let's move on to the next one. We've got a mystery, or we've got... You know what? I am a man of mystery. What can I say? Although that does mean we need to go here after. I do like this loyalty skins chest though. It's gonna be a hard path, but you know what? Let's do it. Flag bearer, archer, rogue. Yeah, my archer's just gonna get himself killed. My rogue's just gonna get himself killed this time, so let's just put our archer in here. Okay, let's go for battle planning, vibe. Vibe over here. And don't place anything over there or in here. Or too far up there. Perfect. Alright, LFG. Get that going. And we've got our next Coliseum Clash happening in another 13 minutes. Let's get back to the development. Okay, so we've been working on our game board here. So we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns and 3 rows. So let's just specify here where it says leader 1, leader 2, leader 3. Now the first to appoint 3 leaders, political, military, or cultural. That was from the initial draft, so let's throw it out that way. So we've got political, military, and cultural. That might change. Political leader, military leader, cultural leader. Okay. Well, I'm just going to remove these for now because we don't have anything in there yet. We just need that to space it out. Okay, we need to probably mark something for separate this category. So let's do this. Let's call this leader tier. Okay. Back up there. Okay, so now we've got a blank game board. So let's go back and check our rules and see where we are. So the object of the game is to be the first to appoint 3 leaders. 1 political, 1 military, 1 cultural, 1 for each row. So you need to appoint 1, 2, 3. You need to appoint these 3 leader cards on the board. But in order to do that, you have to have this be full first. So yeah, to appoint a leader, players must have a full contingent of supporters in that column, in that row. The board setup. Each player has their own board. Board is a grid, 8 columns, 3 rows. Okay, so we've got that. 8 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 3 rows. So each player has one exactly like this. So we're going to go ahead and copy and then try and paste it, move it down. Come on, down here. Move it down here. Okay, player 1, player 2. Okay, so we've got 2 players now. So we're going to imagine that we're both players at once. So, next, so we've got the, okay, so these are the supporters, these 3 here. So we should indicate that. I mean, oh, we should also put a, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and delete this one for now, just because I'm still making changes to it. So the supporters are in the middle here. So you don't have to have someone in the barracks tier, although you need to have someone in the barracks tier in order to defend against attacks. So that might come into play. This needs to be all flipped too. But we can do that later. Okay, so let's get it move on to setup of the game. So we've got all 1,000 cards in the deck face down. So I was thinking like Trivial Pursuit style, where you've got like a box of cards that you have to choose from. So for now, we're going to just use a random number generator to determine which card you pull. Also, we don't have all 1,000 cards made. So let's go to a random number generator. We're going to just use this 1 to 1,000. All right, we don't have all 1,000 cards, so we'll do our best with the ones we have. So we might have to roll again, just to find a card that we actually have in the collection, because we don't have all the cards yet. Which mean there might be there's going to be way more fighters than there are civilians and patricians and stuff. So that's probably going to affect how we're going to be able to test the game, actually. But what we can do is, well, we have all of 1,000 players. They just, not all of them have wax cards for them yet. So I think we can make it work in that sense. We can make it work in that sense. Okay, so if there is a wax card, we'll use it. If not, we'll just pull the Ethereum piece from OpenSea. Okay, so all 1,000 cards. Cards are ranked in order of power. Okay, so we've got the mythical, legendary, epic, rare, and common. Then we've got our 6-sided dice. And deal 3 cards for each player. Players always hold 3 cards, never more, never less. After playing a card, they have to immediately draw a new one. On the player's turn, there are only ever 3 options that constitute a turn. Number 1, place a card on your board. Number 2, assassinate a supporter or leader on an enemy board. Triggers a fight if a card is in the barracks in that row. Or discard a card in your hand and draw a new one from the stack. Okay, so defending against assassination. So players can place a fighter of any of the 3 types in the barracks row to guard against assassinations in that column. Each fighter card has an attack, defense, and speed. So this talks about how the attack and defense, that's how the battles are waged. Other things, no exchanging cards once placed. After placing a leader card, all supporter cards in that column are cleared, and no more can be placed on that column unless the leader is assassinated. When a leader card is attacked, the player can add 1 extra fighter card from their hand to join the defense. Soldiers can't attack their own race. Gladiators can only attack other gladiators. Centurions can attack any type. Steal. Every time you place a supporter, if there is a card of the same race in the same tier, you can steal it and add to your board. These are the things that we need to really refine. And then also each of the leaders will have specific powers that we'll need to figure out as well. Okay, so what we can do is start imagining that we're going to play the game. So there are 2 players. Just imagine there are 2 players. So there need to be 2 boards. So let's go ahead and create a second board. We already did, but we'll do it again. And we should also have a place for where the player's cards are. Normally they'll be hidden, right? The player cards will be hidden. But we should have a place where we can see what the player cards are, just for our use. So player 1, card 1. Player 1, card 2. And player 1, card 3. Okay. And then, so these will be the cards in the hand. And then we're going to do the same thing for player 2. Okay, so now let's figure out what cards everyone's going to get. So to do that, we're going to use our random number generator. Normally you would just pick them up from the deck, or if it was built into a system, it would choose it. So let's go ahead. So first, we're getting card 901. So let's see if we can pull those cards. If we've got 901. Okay, and card number 2, 661. We don't have 661, but Let's get him from here. 661. Alright, so if we don't have the wax card made for that character, we're just going to put their picture and then list what they are. I know that's annoying. It's annoying to me anyway. This character is a plebeian. So I guess we need to say what she is. We'll just go like that. Okay, and then card 3 is going to be 346. There is a 346. Okay. So those are the cards for player 1. Now the cards for player 2. 812. Got a soldier. And 188. Lots of soldiers. And player card number 3, 940. Oh, a queen. Okay. What all these are there for. Okay, so those are the cards that each player has in their hand. So now what they need to do is they need to take turns and either place a card in a spot or draw a new card and replace any of the ones in their hand. So, for example, this person could place the plebe here, or a fighter in the barracks. Same thing here. This person could place a fighter, but can't place the queen because they don't have a full contingent of supporters yet. So they would need to hold on to that card or discard it. Shiloh is asking, is it like before, do I have to have the NFT of the current duel to participate? No, actually, you can play anyway. So Shiloh, to play Coliseum Clash, just fill out the form with which fighter you choose. You don't have to have the NFT. We wanted to make it more accessible for people who are not into NFTs or into wax NFTs specifically. So anyone can play. Yeah. And then also the card game that we're developing here is meant to be a tabletop card game, so it's not related to NFTs. We're just trying to make a game that works to play, and then we can figure out how to tokenize that later. Okay, so let's imagine that we're playing the game with these cards in our hand. So let's say player 1's going to go first. So we're going to go ahead and place one of these plebes. I'm starting to lean more and more towards leaving political, military, and cultural leader open and just having any leader in that space. Or just not have this specific column be dedicated to one or the other. Anyway, that's something that we'll need to work out. Anyway, so now player 1, so I place this card, that means I need to select a new card. So let's go and generate 6, 6, and 9 will be the new card to pull. There is no 669 on wax. 669 is a common equestrian man. EQ. Alright, so there we go. Okay, so player 1 had their turn. Now player 2 gets their turn. So what player 2 could do is, if they want, assassinate this character. Because there is no barracks. There's no one in the barracks. There's no guards, so there would be no battle to have to happen. But this person's going to be smart and place a fighter in their barracks to defend, because they don't have anyone to place anyway. So let's go ahead and put the fighter here in barracks and draw a new card. Okay, so new card, 3, 4, 6. Another soldier. Oh, actually, this card is already on the board, so we need to do the number generator again. 385. A soldier. Another soldier. Figuring out the balance of the cards is definitely something that we're going to have to do too. You know, like, we might need to make it so there's not 1,000, just every Roman punk card, but we might need to select a certain number to be used every time. Okay, so there, now it's player 1's turn again. So player 1's going to be smart and put someone to defend their row here. So let's go ahead, place a fighter there, a soldier there to defend. Now it has to draw a new card. 5, 2, 3. Got a soldier. Okay, now player 2 is going to place another soldier because there's nothing much else they can do, and draw a new card. 7, 7, 6. We've got a centurion here. There we go. All right. Player 1 is going to place the equestrian in their defended level. So let's just add that. And draw a new card. Hello, Hodel Hill. Welcome. 320. There is no 320 wax, so let's go ahead and it's a plebe. Plebe. Okay, so looks like player 1 is pulling much better cards. Player 2 is just pulling fighter cards all the time. Player 1 is actually starting to build up their first row. The object of the game is to have 3 leader cards. They'll be the first to have 3 leader cards placed. But in order to place a leader card, you have to have 6 supporters from each of these different classes. And there are some rules and ways that you can defeat each other. So you can assassinate another person's character, but they have to get through, they have to attack first. They have to get through their defense. So this barracks, this is the defense for this row. So for example, if player 2 wanted to assassinate one of these characters, first he would have to initiate the battle with one of their cards, their fighter cards, and then there would be a battle. And then this would be the defender and this would be the attacker. Alright, so right now it is player 2's turn. So I think player 2 is going to try and put the kibosh on this attack. Prof for Free says, I couldn't attend because the streaming hours coincide with the hours I slept for a long time. Unfortunately, we have a concert today. I have to leave the house again as we have to sound check. I love you all. I'll catch you later. Bye. That's very nice of you for popping in, Prof, and leaving that nice note. It is not unfortunate you have a concert today. It's very fortunate that you do, and I hope that your concert goes well and you are wowing the audience with your tunage. So enjoy your concert. Back to the game. So player 2 needs to put a stop to this player 1 placing, already has 2 units placed on the board. So player 2 is going to try and initiate an attack to stop that. So let's go and see what the rules are for attack. So defending against assassination. So players can place a fighter in the barracks row to guard against assassinations in that row. Each fighter card has an attack, defense, and speed range that constitutes the number of 6-sided dice that that player uses. At the start of an attack, both players roll for speed, and the defender's speed score is higher. Then the assassination is fended off. So that's key. That's what's different here about than from how we're doing it with Coliseum Clash. If the defender's speed roll is higher, then the assassination is fended off. But the attacker keeps their fighter card to be used again. Player on the attack, if the attacker's speed roll, if the attacker's speed roll is higher, player on the attack uses the attack rating. Player on the defense uses the defense rating. If the attacker wins, then the target card is assassinated and defending fighter is lost. But if defender wins, then attack fails and fighting and attacking fighter is lost. Okay, so let's just read that in. So at the start of attack, both players roll for speed. If the defender's speed is higher, then the assassination is fended off. That's it, end of the turn. If the attacker's speed is higher, The player on the attack then uses their attack rating. The player on the defense uses their defense rating. If the attacker wins, then that target card is assassinated and the defending fighter is lost, both. But if the defender wins, then the attack fails and the attacking fighter is lost. Okay, so thank you, Prof. Appreciate that. Sorry that we're missing you, but we'll catch you at the next one, I'm sure. For now, we're doing them just 2 times a week, once in the morning, once in the evening. And as things start to roll out and, you know, we get more viewers, more audience members, more stuff happening on the project, then we can always add another day. For now, it seems that 2 is sustainable, certainly for my schedule. But I would like to do an extra 3rd one. Actually, to have a 3rd stream be something completely different, like interviews and you know, building the lore of the characters and stuff like that. So let's get to our Stream Raider battle here. 39 seconds. You've got a chance to place any final units on the board. Let's take a look and see what we're looking at here. Oh yeah, we've got quite the army here. Looks like we should have no problem at all taking these dudes out. That should be a walk in the park. Place any last units you have. Let's F and go. Should be over in a matter of seconds. Yep, just as I thought. Nice. Ooh, I need to place Saints, eh? Alright, well, let's upgrade my Archer. What else can I do? Quests. Okay, I'm still working on those. Some new ones. Okay, let's see what I can buy here. Anything? I'll probably upgrade my tank. Upgraded my flag bearer. There we go. Okay. That's all fine. Nothing I can do there. Wait, what's this 1 referring to? Is this a skin? Equip. Tuxedo Archer, I like that. Okay, perfect. Alright, let's get back to the campaign. We're moving on to this level. Lizards. Got a bunch right down there, so let's place archers. Alright, do not place here or here or here. Ideally place here. There we go. Place your units. And we've got Coliseum Clash happening in 1 minute. So we're going to do our Coliseum class, and then we're going to continue our mock Punks Romanus game here. So moving over to Coliseum Clash, let's get back over to the board. We've got Aristia, Bercio, and Nereus Jesus. There's Arista, Bercio, and Nereus Jesus. Alright, so Arista's got an 878. Nereus has a 999. Right. So Arista or Nereus, who's it gonna be? There's the link. Choose your fighters. I'm not sure if that's thunder outside or the sound of a chainsaw or a moving truck or something like that. It's definitely coming down here soon, that's for sure. I actually love the month of April in this part of the world where I live, where I used to live before growing up. The month of April was basically just another winter month, so things didn't really turn to spring till May. Additionally, the winter always came a month earlier and it started in November. So here where I live, April and November are actually quite pleasant months. Alright, we only have one player for Coliseum Clash. I'll open it up for another minute. Anyone who wants to play Coliseum Clash, fill out the form in the chat with your chosen fighter. Blue Tulip is joining the fight. NMSMP82. I really should have a clock timer for this so that I know when to stop accepting responses. I'm just going to give it 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No longer accepting responses. Boom. Alright, so let's get this battle going. Arista, Bercio, 878, so let's get your 8 dice. Oh, 8 dice. And Arista is rolling a 27. Nereus, you gotta beat 27 with 9. And he does 36, so Nereus is attacking 36. And it's going to be 9 dice. 32. Now Arista is defending with a 7. Pretty weak defense. You gotta beat 32 with a 7. Oh, doesn't happen. So Nereus Jesus is going to take this one. Nereus Jesus moves on to the next round. Alright, we've got 2 more Coliseum Clash battles to have today. Let's move back to our playtesting. So, we were at the player 2's turn now. So, player 2 is thinking maybe they should assassinate one of these characters. So, player 2 is going to take their fighter, this fighter card, Livona Longus. We're also going to have to reformat the cards so that they have the attack, defense, and speed values on the face of the card, so players will be able to know the powers of their fighter. So Livona Longus, we're going to have to figure out your attack. Livona Longus, 888 against against Belteshazzar Zoo. Belteshazzar Zoo is a 997. So strong defense, not so fast. So the first thing we do is you roll the speed rolls. So Livona Longus is going to roll the speed roll of 8. So let's go back over to our Coliseum Clash board so we can see that. We're going to roll an 8. 8. Alright, 30. And now Belteshazzar Zoo has to roll a speed roll of 7, so 30. 24. Alright, so the attack is on. That means Livona Longus with the attack of 8 will roll 8 dice. $25. And then defense is going to be Belteshazzar with a defense of 9. So it needs to be 25. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 33. Alright, so the attack failed. That means that let's go back to our main here. That means that this card is gone, dead. And player 2 needs to draw a new card. So let's go back over here and draw a new card for player 2. It's going to be 22. Alright, so you get a new soldier, but a weak one at that. Alright, so now it would be player 1's turn again. So player 1's got another plebe, also another fighter. So player 1's going to place her fighter in this column so that then she can place her plebe in this column later. So player 1 needs to draw another card. 5, 4, 1. there is no 5-4-1 on wax, so let's pull the ETH piece. It's going to be an equestrian. EQ equestrian. Okay. Alright, looks like player 1 is in pretty good shape here. Player 2 is choked. Player 2 has these shitty fighters and doesn't want them. So player 2 is going to discard a card and draw a new card. Actually, that one's better, so get rid of this one. 7-4-3. Seven, 4, 3 is a plebe. Just what they needed. Right. Okay, so player 2 got a new card. Now player 1 is going to place her plebe on the board. And take a new card. 606. It's a gladiator. And one thing about the rules that I didn't think about was during that battle, soldiers can't attack their own race and gladiators can only attack other gladiators. But centurions can attack any type. Okay, so it was okay because it was a centurion. Okay, here's steel. Every time you place a supporter, if there is a card of the same race in the same tier on an opponent's board that is of the same rank or lower, you can steal it. That's kind of tricky. Every time you place a supporter, there's a card of the same race or the same tier on the opponent's board. This is a very tricky one. I think we might have to hold off on this for now, just because it's just too much to keep track of, first of all. And second of all, we need to make sure everything else works in a balanced way, I think, before we add this steel mechanic. So we're just going to hold off on the steel mechanic for now, I think. Oh, what time is it? Oh, it's around noon time now here. Just before noon. Alright, so player 2's turn now. Player 2 needs to place, really needs to place a card. So player 2 is going to place her plebe. And then draw a new card. 2-10. It's going to be a Peregrinus. Right. Okay, now player 1 is going to place her equestrian and draw a new card. It's 8-12. And that card is already in play, actually. So we need to do that again. 6-2-4. It's going to be a Peregrina again. All right. Peregrinas. Perfect. Okay. Player 2 is going to place the Peregrinus on the board. And draw a new card. 72. Oh, it's really coming down now. Thunderstorming. We've got an equestrian card. Okay. Now what player 1 is going to place this Peregrinus. And draw a new card. 102. Zombie Patrician. Right. Okay, player 2 is going to place their equestrian and draw a new card. 4-3-3. And it's a servant. Just what you needed. Alright, player 1 is going to place the Patrician and draw a new card. 2-11. Another Patrician. Alright, now player 2 is going to place the servant and draw a new card. It's going to be 21. I'm gonna get a shitty soldier again. Player 2's not getting the luck of the draw here. Alright, player 1 is what's player 1 going to do now? Good question. Well, first let's get our Colosseum Clash going and then we can figure that out. Next round is Strata Straba and Kagla Canali. Strata, Strava, and Kagla Canali. Here is the form if you wish to enter the battle. We'll give you another minute. So I think in this case, player 1 is going to place another card, another patrician. Alright, so place the patrician and choose a new card. 160. Alright. You got yourself a new plebe. Alright, now it's player 2's turn. Let's go and close our Colosseum Clash form. And the battle begins. Strata Strava has a 878 and Kagla has a 777. So 8 for Strata, 34, and 7 for Kagla. 34, gotta beat 34. 21, not gonna happen. Strata gets to attack first with an 8. And it's gonna be 35, defending with a 7. Not gonna happen by 1, so Strata takes it. Moves on to the next round. Six minutes till our next Stream Raiders. Place your units. Excellent. Alright, it was player 2's turn. Where were we? So, player 1 has way more units placed on the board. Player 2 needs to get units placed, but also has shitty cards. So player 2 is in a bad situation. Player 2 needs to get some badass fighters to start assassinating player 1's cards. So player 2 has to discard because there's nothing he can do here. Or maybe place this one in the barracks. But then once you place it, it's there. So you won't want to place a weak one. So he's not going to bother with the attack. It's a waste of time. Because he doesn't feel he's going to win. Okay, so let's get a new card for player 2. It's going to be 722. And it's an equestrian lady. EQ. The reason why these ones are just a picture is that because those cards haven't been made on wax yet. So we don't actually have a way of determining, you know, their rank in terms of the common, rare, epic, etc. yet. Okay, so back to player 1. player one's going to try to assassinate. Try to assassinate this servant. So there's going to be a battle between Mako and Helia. But can they? Remember the rules? Gladiators can only attack other gladiators. So no, that can't happen. Gladiators can only attack other gladiators. So that's the trick with the gladiators. So as much as player one would like to try and knock off one of player two's units, gladiators can only attack other gladiators. So we've got here another plebe, so instead player one is going to beef up his third rank here and draw a new card. 965. Alright, 965 is an emperor. So, might want to hold on to that. Might be needing it soon. Alright, player two is going to try and get a new card. So he's going to discard this one and draw a new card. 690. That's a plebe. Oops. Plebe. Okay. So, not in bad shape. Player one's turn. Player one is going to place this new plebe on their new level, new rank here, new row, and of course, draw a new card. 960. We've got a a famous card that works as both patrician or as a leader. The thing about the leader cards is each card has its own rule attached to it. So in the final game, the format of the cards will be different because it'll need to say more information on the face of the card. So we have to reformat the design of the cards obviously for the final version of the game. But for now, it seems that this card is a patrician, so it can be placed as both a supporter or as a leader. So that's the unique fact about that one character. They will all have unique factors to them, the details of which have yet to be determined. It's time for the battle to begin. Let's go over to our Stream Raiders and let's get this battle going. Looks like it should be a walk in the park again. Blue Tulip's killing it. Oh yeah. 5 times fairy scrolls. Beautiful. Nice. Alright, I can upgrade my tank. Perfect. What else can I do? Can I buy some scrolls? I'll buy an archer scroll. Can't upgrade my archer yet. Perfect. Okay, making some progress there. Back to the campaign. I should have one more battle left in us for today. This is going to be a tough one. Place them all down here. Oh, no, yes, we do want to place them there. We don't want to place them here. And there we go. Shooty McShoot-faced, alright. Okay, whose turn was it now? Okay, looks like it's player 2's turn. Player 2 is going to start placing this next level to catch up. So I'll place your plebe here. And draw a new card. 205. Got yourself a gladiator. Player 1 is going to place this patrician and draw a new card. 488. And getting another leader card when you don't need him. Got Cicero. It's a good one. Alright, player 2 is going to place their equestrian and draw a new card. 301. There's another equestrian. Definitely starting to notice already the balance in the cards off. There are not enough freedmen or slaves or patricians or Peregrinus. There are too many equestrians and plebes. The weighting is too high on those card types. So, of course, the final game deck will be made up of an equal number of each. There should be an equal number of each supporter level in the deck. Otherwise, it's just not fair. There needs to be roughly at least equal numbers of each one. Or if anything, there should be more at the bottom level. But that's something that we can resolve later. So player one's turn. Player one's in a bit of a pickle here. The other thing too is if you're going to discard a fighter, why not just attempt to attack, right? Because if you have a fighter card and you want to discard it for another one, you might as well just attempt an attack, because what do you have to lose? Right? So let's say player one wants to discard this guy. At least try to initiate an attack first. So let's try that. So we've got Bilal Berberis is going to try to assassinate this card here. So that means there's going to be a fight between Bilal and Helia. Bilal Berberis has got a 7 across the board, and Helia has a speed 10. Holy smokes. So 8, 7, 10. So let's roll for those. So 7. $25 versus $33. So there's not going to be an attack as per the rules. At the start of an attack, both players roll for speed, and if the defender's speed score is higher, then the assassination is fended off, but the attacker keeps their fighter card to be used again. So that is where it can be a wasted turn. So if you, if he wanted to get rid of this card, but now he has to keep the card. So that's essentially a wasted turn. Because he lost on the speed. He's lost on the speed roll. Okay. He was thinking he would just get rid of this card, have him die, and then get a new one. But in this case, it didn't happen that way. It was a failed attack, and you have to kick the card. So that's where there could be the benefit of discarding a soldier card instead of just attacking every time. So now it would be player two's turn again. And they feel like they're starting to get a little bit more momentum here. He's going to place his gladiator, because that's a strong card. And get a new one, 2, 6, 7. You got yourself a Peregrinus. Okay, player one's turn again, but first let's get over to our clash board and see who's the next battle. We've got Herbatus, Muko, and Zoezella. Herbatus is a 667, and Zoezella is a 767. They're very close. Closely matched. And here is your form in the chat. got 1 minute. Fill out the form, then we'll get to the battle. Alright, back to the playing board here. So it's now player 1's turn. Player 1 really needs to get some new cards, so player 1's going to discard this guy now for real. Take a new card. 182. You're going to get yourself a servant now. Good stuff. Alright, now player 2 is going to place the Pvnks and draw a new card. 38. And it's a general. And now player 1. Oh, first we have to get to our clash. So we're closing the form now. And we've got Herbertus with a speed roll of 7 and Zoe with a speed roll of 7. So Herbertus' speed is 26. Zoe's speed is 25. So Herbert's going to roll first with a 6. And it's going to be 12. Zoe's going to defend with a 6. And it's going to be 24. Now Zoe's going to attack with a 7. Going to be 23, and Herbert's going to defend with a 6. 23, and he holds off. A tie on a defense is a successful defense. Now Herbert is going to attack with a 6. Oops. 20. Zoe is going to defend with a 6. 22. Looks like Zoe defended successfully. Now Zoe is going to attack with a 7. 29. Herbert, you got to defend with a 6 now and beat 29. Not gonna happen. So Zoe's going to take it. Oh, sorry, Tree Frog, missed this one. Zoe moves on to the next round. Excellent. Well, that's our last Coliseum Clash for today. We do have one more round of Stream Raiders that we should be able to fit in before we go. We've made some good progress in the game testing today. The main thing I've realized is that all of these supporter cards need to be balanced out. So there's too many equestrians and plebes in the deck. So we need to balance out so there's equal number of cards in each one of these tiers. I think there can be more fighters though. There can be way more fighters. I think the number of leaders is okay, because if you don't have your supporters placed, then and you get a leader and it's like, whoa, well, should I hold on to this card, or should I, trade it back in for another one? So I'm happy with the number of leader cards, and I'm happy with the number of fighter cards, because You want to have too many. You want to get a fighter card and you're just like, oh, I didn't need this, and trade it in again, right? Okay, so it was, whose turn was it? Player 2 just, was it player 2's turn? Oh, what was the last one that we rolled for? 38. Okay, so player 2. So now player 1 can go. Alright, player 1's going to place her servant here. Draw a new card. 675. It's going to be a slave. Right, perfect. And now player 2 is going to place her equestrian. And draw a new card. 400. Ooh, should be interesting. $400 is Minerva. So what do the gods cards do now? Let's go to the rules. Deities can be spent to remove any card from a player's board without a battle. Okay, so let's see what happens now. Moving on. So player 1's turn. Player 1's going to place their slave. And draw a new card. 595. Got a plebe. I really need to get busy and finish creating all of these wax cards. Alright, so player 2 is going to hold off on using this card for now. But player 2 doesn't really have a choice, needs to discard a card or do something. So instead, player 2 is going to discard this card and draw a new one. Okay, got a gladiator. Player 1 doesn't need a plebe. So player 1's going to discard this card and draw a new one. 693. Three is another plebe. Ha ha ha, sucker. Doesn't even need him. Alright, player 2 is going to, so I'll probably withdraw it, probably try and take another card now. Or maybe attack, but it's a gladiator, so gladiators can only attack other gladiators. So we'll leave that for now. Gonna withdraw, try a new card, redraw. 790. Gonna be a soldier. Not what you wanted. Also player 1 saying damn it, I didn't want this guy. So player 1's going to withdraw a new card. 76. And it's going to be a good one, too. It's going to be Saturn. Alright. Alright, player 2 now is going to have to try some sort of an attack. Feeling the pressure, wants to do something and attack and remove this card from the deck. Assassinate this card, so that means it's going to be a battle. It has to be a battle between Oscar York and Becky Buck. Oscar York 778 and Becky Buck. Come on, where are you, Becky Buck? There she is. 968, so it's going to be close. So first we need to roll for the speed. So 8 and 8. 8 and 8. 8 and 8. 8 and 8. So Oscar's rolling for 8. Rolling for speed. It'd be 32, and now Becky. 19, so it looks like it's going to be an attack. Oscar is going to attack with 7. 32, and Becky is going to be defending with 6. Gotta beat 32. Doesn't, so that means it was an successful assassination. So get rid of this card. Get rid of this card. And keep. He gets to keep this card. Not just gets to, has to. He doesn't get the benefit of redrawing a new card now. Even if he wanted to. Okay, so let's just check here. If the attacker's speed rolls higher, player in the attack uses attacker. If the attacker wins, then the target card assassinated and the defending fighter's lost. There we go. And attacker returns their, an attacker keeps their card in hand. An attacking card is returned to player's hand. Okay, just need to clarify that. Perfect. Anyone we can raid today, folks? Alright, player 1 is pissed. But, so player 1's going to use Saturn and immediately have this card eliminated. So remember, for the deities, it is you need to spend the card. So you don't get to keep it, keep using it again and again and again. Deities can be spent to remove any card from the player's board without a battle. So Saturn is going to be used to remove this card. So there you go, tit for tat. And now has to draw a new card. 655. Gets a plebe, just what she wanted. Not. Okay. Player 2 is pissed, and he's going to use Minerva to destroy this card. Now it's looking more and more even. So player 2 is going to draw a new card. Going to be 260. It's going to be a slave. That's what they needed. Goes says Pvnks master. Nice, yeah. Well, let's just finish up our stream raiders, and then we go and raid Pvnks master. Or let me take a look and see who else I have here. Oh, we also have Batman TV. Nice. We should probably raid them just because they don't have as many people in their room. First, we need to finish up our stream raiders. Let's take a look at we've got here 3 minutes left. Wonder if that's going to be enough units. Hopefully. Well, we'll leave the timer on, so we've still got 3 minutes to place some more units on there. This is a hard level, so we definitely want all the units that we can get. Let's just take one last look at our board here. So today was a very successful session at card game development. So we've been working on the Pvnks Romanvs card game. Pvnks Romanvs card game. We've got playing. We've managed to set up a playing board for 2 players. We've managed to go through some of the rules, or go through the rules and play it according to the rules. So far it seems to be working, it seems to be playable. The attacks have worked out. The steel thing, we've kept the steel rule off just because it's too confusing, and we haven't been able to determine the ranks because we haven't have all the wax cards made yet. The leader powers, this is something that needs to be determined later. But we have temporarily removed the military, political, and cultural requirement just because it just adds to confusion and seems to not Alt-Shift-5 just because it adds confusion and seems to mean creates confusion and doesn't help with the balance. So we'll temporarily at least remove those, and then we'll see. So you can place any leader's card in any of the slots as long as there's a leader. And then what we need to do is think about what each specific character gives as a bonus for having that leader be placed. So yeah, I think it was a really good exercise. Thanks for hanging out with us today, and we'll continue working on this card game. And really exciting would be to have it integrated in the sandbox in some way, because I know there was a way to create card games in the sandbox. But the problem with this is that it's set up to be 2 players. Like, as soon as you get the artificial intelligence involved, then it gets really tricky to program. Because how do you teach the computer how to play the game, right? So, you know, it's one thing to have just a tabletop game where 2 people can be playing it with each other. So, I mean, it could be used in sandbox, like set up as a social hub. If that's the case, could set up a social hub where you can have 2 people playing the game against each other in a social hub. So we need to think about that more. But first, we need to get the game itself working, and we'd like to create, you know, a printed tabletop version of it as a prototype. So that's it for today. Let's get over and finish off with our stream raiders, and then we're going to do a raid. So let's start this battle. Here we go. Oh man, we're hurting. Rocket launchers are just destroying us here. Nice. Alright, kill the big guy. Ow. It's cutting in really close here. Cutting in very, very close. But we just gotta mop up now. Should be good. Whew. Epic. Nice. That was awesome. Alright. We can collect this. Oh, we can unlock a paladin. Nice. I really need to unlock Saint, though. I need to be able to place Saints. I can unlock Fairy. Doesn't help. Oh, but unlocking units. Okay, perfect. There's the question itself. Get some warrior scrolls. Nice. Okay. Let's see what I can do here in the store. I don't need any of those. Let's go back here. Good. We're good. Alright, well, we're going to have to save the next battle for next time. Have a great one, all. And let's give a raid over to who we've got here. Let's go over to Batman TV. Boom.